NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. From the 6. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. First carry for DeAndre Swift. Swift's got the first down and then some. And finally down at the 41-yard line.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Running is Swift. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown. Well, this defense for the Cards, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Man open, that's Ja'Marr Chase complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Jameis to throw it. He'll find Eskridge here complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. Space to run past the 20. And down to the 7-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Swift. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They will run it with Swift here. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
4th down, Winston. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Mike Evans with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point good by Prater. And that makes the score 7-0. Touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Second down, they go again with Henry. Trucks over him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Mayfield off the play fake. Flushed out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Second and 6. No, scratch that. Second and 7. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second down at 7. A handoff, running left, Henry. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. Mayfield to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Carroll. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
That is caught inside the 5. And the Cardinals are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
Mayfield firing quickly. It's complete. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. Extra point put through by Succop. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Swift. Swift is hit, and he coughs it up. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. After the penalty, it's Henry. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 57 yards on the ground for him so far. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now this throw caught left side. And they will finally catch him, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A huge play there for Arizona.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. A nice display of power, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Looking to throw again on second down. Winston. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. They'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Winston now from the 50. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 38-yard line. From the gun, here's Swift. And he'll go down at the 28.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They go play action. Winston. He'll get this off to Swift. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Well, this offense will definitely utilize him as a weapon out of the backfield because he was close to 100 yards receiving a week ago. So they will try to get him the football in space as they did right there.
On first down, Swift. He will push his way down to about the 14. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. On 2nd and 7, Winston. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, Winston. He'll drop this one off to Swift. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 4th down. Now Winston. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert. And they turn it over. I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. A gain of 3, 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. Here's Smith to return it. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Again, it's Henry. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Cardinals. Well, Derrick Henry, the league's leading rusher in 2019. You wouldn't think a man that big could motor like that, but he can all right, and he proved it right there.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you. And let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works, but he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
Dwayne Eskridge elects to bring it out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 78 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Right back to Swift again on second down. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
They'll run on first down. Swift. He's to the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. DeAndre Swift. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. Prater for the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Here's Smith to return it. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Henry again on second down. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. Throwing, Mayfield. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Thomas Morstead now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. Elsewhere around the NFL, they're in the third at SoFi Stadium. Chargers have just scored, so they extend their lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, and their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll make it second down. They run out of the gun with Swift. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we drop. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
Winston.
Open man is Chase, complete.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at the great linebackers in history, they all have that ability to innately sense where a play is going, sometimes even before the ball snaps, and they're there and end up making the play.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drop.
Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown.
But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll run it here. This is James White, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Second down and 8.
To throw, Mayfield. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Flynn. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down. They'll run. It's Henry. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. He needed less than a foot. He didn't get a whole lot more than that, but he did get the first down.
Well, he and his offensive line created enough push where if he was able to just fall forward as he was able to there, that would pick up the first down. As you noted, didn't need a whole lot, didn't get much more than that.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Mayfield on play action. Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Third and goal, and keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. Henry. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line.
I know this is your spot, partner, so forgive me for jumping in, but there's no decision right here. They have to go for it in this situation. They're down on the scoreboard. How many other opportunities are you going to get?
Yeah, I'm with you. 4th quarter, like you said, down on the scoreboard. And remember here, a field goal virtually does them no good. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They'll run for it with Henry, and he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 124 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. They'll run here with Swift. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Winston. Throw left side complete to Chase. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. Here's Swift. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead. So how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. They'll run with Swift. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They just likely won this thing in regulation. Extra point good by Prater. And they will take a 7-point lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. One last shot from Mayfield here. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the